Hi guys, Rose here with the Cackling Moon. I wanted to show you some new things that I have acquired in my collection. I probably shouldn't even be adding anything into my collection because I'm going to be moving in another couple weeks. The whole other area of my tarot room is a mess. There's boxes, books stacked everywhere. It's a mess. But this little corner right here looks fairly decent. So anyways, I wanted to share with you guys just some of the things that I have acquired in my collection. I have a couple decks that I have. I'm actually waiting for one more deck to come in. So as soon as that one comes in, you'll probably see it. Photos of it on my Instagram, so make sure you're following my Instagram. And speaking of that, my Instagram and my Twitter, I actually changed the username for because I really wanted it to reflect the Cackling Moon. So Instagram is the Cackling Moon, and Twitter is Cackling Moon. So make sure you give those a follow and be up to date with everything that's going on around me and around the Cackling Moon in general. And a quick update with Cackling Moon is I will be going on vacation the last 2 weeks of December. So as of the 18th of December, the Cackling Moon shop will be closed. But 1st of January, the beginning of the new year, I will be reopened again and ready to take orders for readings. But I am taking a little bit of a vacation. I have family coming in. I am moving. It's just a lot. It's the holiday season. It's kind of a sensitive time of the year right now for myself and my family. So I just really need time to kind of just surround myself with family and just be with them without any other distraction. So let's talk about new stuff. So one of the things, let's talk about decks first because there's only two. So the first deck that I acquired was actually it's my Christmas gift from my husband. He purchased the Magic and Manifestation affirmation cards from Ethany's website. So I had actually linked him to Ethany's website and I said, if you want to get me anything for Christmas, because my husband and I aren't really big on giving one another gifts on major holidays. We usually kind of do that like all throughout the year. And I don't know, this year I'm just not feeling Christmas. I'm not feeling like the whole season of giving gifts or receiving gifts. So I told him if you wanted to get me anything, because he was asking, I was like, I would love this deck. So he purchased it. It came in the mail and he was like, do you want me to wait to give it to you? Or because I already knew what it was. So I was like, no, I can totally use it now. And I have been, and I've been loving it. So the Magic and Manifestation affirmation cards. These cards are available on Ethany's website, but I do believe they are out of stock right now because I know she only had like 10 decks left, which was the main reason why I asked my husband to purchase it for me because I've always wanted this deck. I just never bought it for myself. So when you open it, it's a cute box. You take off the lid, and inside are the cards and a guidebook. So the guidebook looks like this, super cute, and inside it is packed with lovely juicy information about each of the cards. There's some spreads in there, and then the cards themselves, the backs are beautiful, like a plum color, purpley, pinky plum, I don't know. And they are outlined in a nice gold border, like that leafy gold leaf. They're also gold edges. Very beautiful, like classy and fancy. And then the decks themselves, some of them are white and some of them are black. So the backgrounds are either white or black, and I think it looks so pretty. They all have the gold borders. And the images themselves, there's a lot of, it's like artsy, drawn in, and looks like watercolor paint. It's really pretty. So these are oracle cards, and they're really cool. They work really well. I've been working with them. This one's beautiful. I've been working with them a lot lately. Been journaling with them. So yeah, I'm not gonna do a whole thing with the decks. I don't want to make it like a review video, but I just want to show you guys like what's new in my collection. It's kind of hard to get the deck and the guidebook back in the box. I don't know, or I'm just weird. But that is that. Next, let me see if I have that other deck. Yes. So the other one that I acquired, I actually purchased this for myself in Barnes & Noble. I would say a couple weeks ago. I was there and I was browsing, and of course when you go into Barnes & Noble, if you are like me and you're obsessed with books and obsessed with decks, you can never leave without buying something. So Butterfly Oracle Cards for Life Changes by Doreen Virtue is the one I bought. I had been eyeballing this deck, and I actually own a couple other decks by Doreen Virtue, but I didn't get it because I was kind of like, when you have like one or two of Doreen Virtue decks, they're very like frou-frou, like woo-woo, I don't know, just very light and positive. So it's kind of like once you have one or two of her decks, you kind of know her style and what you're going to get. But for me, I've been seeing butterflies everywhere. It's kind of like they've been calling to me. And I think it's a message, obviously. When you see animals everywhere or certain things, there's definitely a message that they're trying to convey. And I feel like the butterflies popping up, it's definitely a transformation. Another one that I'm going to want to and try to and go through. We'll talk more about that in another video, but this is the Butterfly Oracle deck. And of course it comes in a nice sturdy box. And the decks themselves, the backs are blue with a gorgeous butterfly on the cover. And then the edges are also gilded in a gold sheen. And then the cards are very colorful and bright. They each exhibit a photo of a butterfly and then of course the message at the top. And it's all about life changes. It's all about just life journeys and that kind of thing. So I found that this deck is really helpful for certain types of questions that clients ask. And I have actually worked with this deck already for a couple orders. So it's really nice. I really love it. I enjoy it. And it comes with a nice chunky guidebook. And it does, of course, Doreen Virtue always goes into detail with all of her cards. So you'll have lots of different juicy messages to go with the deck. And yeah, it's a very nice deck. I'm actually very happy with it. Doreen Virtue never fails to, she doesn't disappoint me, but I do have to be in the mood for her kind of decks. So it's a nice breath of fresh air to have something more positive and upbeat. And then the final deck in my collection. Oh, you know what? I was bad today. Or not today, but I was bad this year. The last couple months. I actually have, okay, this one was an eBay purchase. I've been looking for the Victorian Flower Oracle. I really, really, really want one. And it's out of print and it's super expensive. So I've been searching and hunting, and I found the playing card collection, the Living Flowers, it's the artwork by J.J. Granville, and it's the same artwork for the Victorian Flower Oracle, and it's just in playing card form. So I've always wanted to kind of incorporate playing cards into my my whole way of reading. So it's a whole thing I want to learn, but basically it's a playing cards. So you have, this is the backs, and then the front we have like a king, the king of spades, and then we have, you know, the images of the flowers that are exactly the same as what you would find. Let's see if this will. Exactly the same as what you would find in the Victorian Flower Oracle. So it's not the Flower Oracle, but it is definitely, you know, something that I was hunting for. It suffices what I wanted for now until I do get my hands on the actual deck. I do plan on paying pretty penny for that deck because you just can't find it anywhere under $100 at least. So I know it's going to come into my possession. I feel it. But it's just not time right now. So one of these days it will. But anyway, so that's the playing cards that I bought. And then this beautiful, I saved this one for last because this one's my favorite. Oh my God, the vibe of this deck. So this is the Oracle of Oddities. This is actually the second edition of the Oracle of Oddities. You can find this deck at blackandthemoon.com. So I will list this in the description box as well so you guys can have an idea of where I was purchasing. And this deck is so me. The vibe is so me. It came in this cute box, and I believe her decks now are no longer coming in the boxes. I think that I have seen the post that they're just going to be shrink wrapped because it was like an extra tax on her printing to make the boxes. So to keep the deck affordable for everybody, I believe she's going with the shrink wrap version, so there's no box to go with it. So I was actually really fortunate enough when I ordered this. I purchased this the night of the Black Friday sale she was having. I think it was like $5 off the deck. So I was really fortunate to get the box. So that's really cool. So I love this deck. Okay, so the backs are a beautiful, like a dark green color. And oops, sorry guys, I have a little pop up. Okay, a dark green color. And then they are nice size. They are larger than, I would say, a tarot deck. I don't have one around me right now. But they're oracle cards. And they are just a simple image, a gorgeous image, and a keyword. So this is knowledge. But the thing about these decks is there's skulls and body parts, like anatomy, and skulls and flowers, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. Observe. Oh, this is probably one of my favorite cards. Isn't that beautiful? Look at the security. So this deck is definitely not for everyone. I think it takes a certain type of person's interests to connect with a deck like this. There's one in here. I don't want to show you guys all of them because if you ever wanted to search yourself for a deck, this is empathy. Isn't that beautiful? I just feel like it takes a certain type of a person to connect with a deck like this. I feel like the images are just kind of like not everyone will connect or not everybody will understand the beauty in images like that. So it's really nice and it's so me. A deck like that is completely me. So I had to buy it. It's kind of funny because I used to have a lot of online blogs back in the day when I was in high school. And a lot of the images that I love to portray on my blogs were stuff like this. It was like skeletons, but with roses and flowers, and to kind of show the beauty of death. And it's like kind of like death isn't, isn't that funny? It came up for death, that death isn't the end. It can actually be looked at as another beginning. So it's like a rebirth, because usually when something dies, something happens to bring life with that. And it's like, as I was saying that, I was brought back to memory. When my brother died, just a couple, like I would say a week, maybe a week, 2 weeks tops after his death, my sister gave birth to her baby. So it's just so symbolic. Same thing with the tarot, the death card of the tarot. When one door closes, when you close a door of opportunity or you close a door of, you know, certain memories that you just want to shut out, there's always another door that'll open, and it's a whole new opportunity that'll take place. So that's just something to think about. Any of you guys who fear death, or you think of death as something bad, it's not always something bad. I mean, of course it hurts, but there's always something beautiful that takes place after it. if you're willing to see it in that perspective. So those are the decks that I acquired. Okay, so let's talk objects, crystals. So I have been wanting one of these for a long time. This is a Palmistry Hand, and I actually purchased this one off of Amazon. I was looking on eBay, and eBay had them, but you guys have to keep in mind, because sometimes some people don't care, but I really wanted a specific one. So there's two versions of these hands. There is a smaller version where it's like 3 inches, 3 or 4 inches. This is a full size. This is an actual life size version of a hand. So when you're looking for this online, you want to read the item description and make sure that it says, I believe it's like 8 inches in length rather than 5. 5 inches in length is a smaller one, obviously, and 8 inches is the full size one. This one is available on Amazon, but it's by Toscano, Toscano, I believe. And I think I paid $28 for this one. And the smaller ones, you can find them for like 16 bucks or something like that. So I wanted the full size. I was actually going to end up just buying a small one because of money. But and then I was like, you know what? I deserve it. And it will look so cute on display when I have everything set up in my new room. So this is the Palmistry Hand, and it's super cute, and it looks gorgeous in photos. So if you follow my Instagram, you've probably already seen some pictures with him. So that's that. And he stands up on his own. He stands up on his own. Well, I better not put that on the laptop. But he does stand up on his own. Or you can lay him down flat or whatever. Okay. Mama Mary. So I went to a local vintage shop. It's they have vintage stuff. They have antiques and, you know, just gorgeous things. And this is a Mama Mary statue, obviously, and it has a candle. It's a candle holder. So I've been putting the tea light candles in there to light when I light her up. And she's really pretty. And at the bottom, what's really sweet is at the bottom there is a message here that someone wrote to, I don't know if it's their granddaughter, but it's dated 12/25/1945. So Christmas time. So when I was at the shop, I was like, I love Mama Mary. I love anything statues with her. And I saw this, and I was like, she was only $20. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to buy her because she needs to go home with me. I can light her. She's a candle. I can light her and have her on my table when I do readings instead of having just, you know, one of those tall 7-day candles. I think it's a 7-day candle. Not sure. So yeah, perfect. So that's Mama Mary. At the same antique place, I found a guy that was selling a lot of crystals. And I got this gorgeous fossilized clam. So it's a clam, but it's fossilized. So I can't open it, but it's so cute. And the vibe with this guy is really, really nice. It was really strong and powerful. And anything relating to the ocean or the water, I am so drawn to as a Pisces. And I feel like as a mermaid in a past life, I do feel like I was definitely a mermaid of some sort. I just have like this obsession with mermaids ever since I was a little girl. Anything ocean related just draws me in. So I had to buy him. So he was cute. He was only like $6. And then, where are you? I bought a couple crystal skulls. This is the one that I bought for myself. And then I bought a couple other ones as gifts for friends. So there was a birthday gift, and then I got a couple other ones as gifts. So those of you who will receive them, you'll know who you are. So I got a crystal skull. I mean, anytime there's crystal skulls anywhere and they're affordable, I have to get one because there's just something about them that I absolutely love. And I have to have a crystal skull always. So my collection has definitely been growing. And then the crystals. So I think I showed this one in another video, but this is a clear quartz cluster that I purchased off of Etsy, and I will put the link in the description box as well. Her shop name is I Love Lotus, and I'm always buying crystals from her. Mostly my hearts, like my puffy hearts that I have, I'll buy those from her. But this is a clear quartz cluster, and this guy was only $10. $10. And I was like, are you kidding me? He's gorgeous, and he's not tiny either. He is a nice size crystal. So I was surprised that he was on listed for $10. But that's the thing about clear quartz, is you can find them for really cheap, and they're beautiful crystals. They're like legit crystal, but I mean, there's nothing fancy about them. They're just clear. So I guess that's why they are so cheap. But he's beautiful, so he's in my collection. And then there is another Etsy shop that I purchased from, Terra Flora Adornments, and I will also link her shop below too. This is a Smoky Quartz point. He's been on my radar for probably about 2 months prior to me even purchasing him. I found him while I was just on Etsy one day just looking for crystals, and I saw him, and he wasn't on sale. He was purchased at like $50, and I was like, oh, that's a lot, it's a lot of money, and $50, and I had it. I mean, I have the money from my readings and stuff, but I didn't want to spend $50, and so cheapy me, I'm always looking for a bargain. I was like, okay, if it is meant for me to have him in my collection, I will wait and see if she throws in some sort of coupon code. So every week I was literally looking at her shop. I would look at her Instagram. Sorry, there's all bright right here because Luna's in the window. So I would look at her shop. I would look at Instagram, waiting for the coupon codes, and nothing came up. And then Cyber Monday came, and she put up a coupon for 25% off. I believe it was 20 or 25% off. And I was like, oh my God. So I went to her shop, and she still had him. He was still there. And I didn't even think about it. I think I was at my husband's, my in-laws' house for Thanksgiving. No, not Thanksgiving. I was at the in-laws' house, but we were eating, or we were doing something after Thanksgiving. Obviously, it was Cyber Monday. And I remember I just did the transaction right then and there. I bought him because I already had the money, and I had been eyeballing him for 2 months. I was like, if he's meant to be with me, it will happen. And I did. So I bought him, and he actually came out to like $40 plus shipping. And I was so happy. So she did really great. She actually mailed him out as soon as possible. I think it was like the next day. And then I got him later that week, really fast. And he's so beautiful. He's huge. He's beautiful. There's so many little rainbows inside, and just, he's gorgeous. So I love Smoky Quartz. Smoky Quartz is like my stone aside from clear quartz. I love Smoky Quartz. Which brings me to the other one I found. So I was on eBay. I think this was in October. I was on eBay, and you know how you could bid and stuff if you want, something for cheap. So there was these Smoky Quartz towers, and I was looking at on eBay for Smoky Quartz towers because I wanted this one so bad, but I didn't want to spend $50 and then plus shipping. So I was on eBay looking for something cheaper, and I saw this guy. And this one, he was out of the country, so he was international, and the bids were starting at $5, I think. And I was like, what? So I kept an eye on that bid, and I bidded, and there was like 2 other people who were bidding, but I don't know if they were serious or whatever, but I was. So I put a bid, and then, the last day to bid, when it was literally down to the minutes, I was at work, and I was on my computer, and I put in my last bid. I bid $25, and I guess the person that bidded with me only bidded like 15, and so my previous bid before that was $20, but I put 25 right after because I was like, okay, well, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be, but I'm not going more than that. because shipping was like $10. So I put the bid in for $25 and I ended up getting it. It's the first thing that I've ever won on eBay to bid for, and I ended up getting it, but they charged me $20 instead because he only put 5, or he only put 15. So weird, it worked out that way. So I paid $30, which is including the shipping, for this gorgeous stone. And look at how huge it is. It's huge. It is like the largest, aside from my other cluster that I have. That's a Smoky Quartz. This is my largest one. So really excited. He's beautiful. He's got lots of rainbows and a lot of stuff going on too. But he's gorgeous and he's heavy. He's really heavy. So that's that. And then the last crystal in my collection was the one I also bought at the antique store. He's a gigantic Labradorite. He was behind the glass and I saw him. I had this feeling to go to the store. And I was like, I was going to this antique shop in hopes of maybe finding the vintage Victorian flower oracle. But I guess I was being intuitively drawn to this store because of him. When I saw him behind the glass and he was only priced at $20, I was like, what the hell? $20 for a Labradorite? First thing, it's a Labradorite, and second, it's like $20 for him. He's huge. He has gorgeous you know, pops of color, but it's hard to see right now because Luna's in the window, so she has the blinds pushed over. But as you can see, there's a huge pop of color here, but then there's some down here, but it doesn't show up right now. So anyways, $20, you guys. Fuck. I was just on walking on the clouds after that because I'm like, I bought a let's see if he's in here. Probably not. No. He's probably in one of my purses. I actually bought a palm stone Labradorite from a shop, one of the crystal shops. And you know, crystal shops, they jack up the prices on their crystals because they got to make a profit too. But I bought the palm stone, and I love that piece. I'm always with it. It's always with me when I'm doing readings or when I'm meditating. And I paid $17, almost $20 for that, and it was just a little palm stone. So to go from that to like this big hunk of Labradorite for $20, I was like, what the hell? So I bought it. But yeah. So basically the whole message here is if things are meant to be in your life and they're meant to be with you, it will happen. So if you have your eye on a certain crystal or a certain deck, but you just don't feel right spending the money for it, or you're waiting for, you know, the coupon code, or you're just waiting for that chance, sometimes crystals will come into your life because they need to be. And then other times, if something is meant to be in your life, but you don't want to spend a certain amount of money, it will come into your life. It just takes time, and you have to be patient and trust that the universe will provide for you with what you want. So that's exactly what I'm hoping for with the Victorian flower oracle. I'm hoping that that deck will come into my life when it's supposed to, and I feel like the reason why I haven't been able to obtain it is because it's just not meant to right now. I was actually in a conversation back and forth with a guy on eBay to purchase his deck because he has one on there, but it's for bidding. And he just was not budging with my negotiation and like a price I was giving him. So I was like, you know what? It's not meant to be. So I'm just going to let it go. But I trust that, you know, that deck will come into my life when it's ready. So yeah, you guys, that's just my little share today. I just wanted to share that. I wanted to have a video out there for you. Thank you if you've been watching from the very beginning. I'm sorry it's already been like half an hour. But again, if you guys have any questions or if you want to chat, you know, I'm always open. Send me an email, leave a comment below, and check out the shops that I will be listing where I purchase all my stuff. And I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.